Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I'm going to show you Heroic Molten Core in the open queue, a full run with a level 25 account. And some of these leaders that I'll be using are not the best possible choices. I will tell you more about them because I want to do it with different leaders than I did with my main account, but some of these are actually now just a lot more fine-tuned. So let's take a look at what I have been using. So for Lucifron, I used Maiev. On my main account, I used Anubarak. They're both equally good. Both are just completely fine for this one, so Maiev was great here. For Magmadar, I wanted to do a non-Starfall strategy. In case people don't have Starfall, Starfall strategy is still better. You can find that in my full Molten Core run video, the previous one. And in this one, I do Gromash with the execute plan, which is worse, but it's doable. Then for Gehennas and Shazzrah, the Rivendare plan that I had in my Gehennas and Shazzrah video is actually really good. I also featured this already in that Gehennas and Shazzrah video, and this is still also functional, the Hogger one, but I think I would prefer Rivendare if I just chose leader completely freely. The Garr, I have shown this Thalnos build already in my Garr video, and this is really sweet. I think this is the best build for Garr. Then we have Baron Geddon, and Baron Geddon I used Sylvanas. Sylvanas perfectly fine, still even for Heroic Baron Geddon. Obviously Ragnaros is an alternative, and Ragnaros is very strong for this boss. Then I used Ragnaros for Golemagg. Although at level 25 I have to say that Jaina would be a better option. I think I should use Jaina with the lower level account, and Ragnaros gets better the higher your levels are, because that level 25 Ragnaros, keeping it alive at the start is very difficult. If you had just a couple of levels more, then it would just be so much smoother. Once you get the levels up, then Ragnaros is awesome, but from 25 it's a little bit too much work to level it up. And then finally Ragnaros, and I did Ragnaros with Sneed. I love Sneed in the new Ragnaros because there's constantly these kinds of tower limbo situations where you just can print gold for both you and your partner. And yeah, let's go take a look at all of these. The footage for Gehennas and Shazzrah and Garr are the footage that I already showcased before, and the other 5 bosses, the footage is brand new. So let's take a look. Heroic Molten Core with level 25 account in action. So here we go against Heroic Lucifron, and my partner is Scenarios. So Heroic Lucifron at this point it's still a little bit bugged, because at the phase change the Dominators don't get the damage aura. Instead Lucifron gets the damage aura. So you would probably handle it a little bit differently, because right now when the Dominators have the damage aura, you can just drop some Whelpex next to them, and the Whelpex will pop, like you can see here. Whelpex into the damage aura, they pop, damage aura doesn't hurt flying, so now Whelpex will have a chance to just shoot the Dominator. You can't do that anymore once the Dominator loses the damage aura, but then you can just safely drop other unbounds next to it. So if Blizzard fixes that bug, then you will want to use Whelpex on every phase, and if they haven't fixed that bug, then other phases will go without Whelpex. Just a little something, but it doesn't affect the overall strategy or the overall team, because the overall team still functions completely fine like this. So here I'm just doing the Whelpex thing again. We're still in phase 1. These are still the original Dominators that have the damage aura as they should. And then it's only going to be a little bit later now that Maiev was a little bit foolish. But either way, there we did it. We got rid of both of the Dominators, while my Scenarios partner is trying to push with an Abomination and Moonkin. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I also really enjoy Harpies here, because Harpies, even if they get dominated, they're really easy to kill, so you can get rid of them quite easily. There is also another bug in this fight, because if you Banshee a dominated mini, then that Dominator is not going to dominate another mini while that mini is alive. It just keeps thinking that, hey, I'm already dominating this even though you Bansheed it back. So that sort of Banshee plan could also be an option. I haven't used that because if there wasn't a bug like that, then Banshee would be totally useless here. So I don't want to build a strategy based on that, because then that strategy might be invalidated at any time. Whereas this strategy still works. I mean, of course, if that was like super easy and super powerful, then maybe, but this strategy works just well. So here we go again. Scenarios pushing with that Abomination. Oh, Abomination is sturdy, I give it that. It just keeps going. Okay, so first phase change is approaching. I have to be ready because new dominators are going to come. Alright, here come the second set of dominators. And now these dominators, they have the visual effect, but they don't actually have the damage aura at the moment. I was hoping to... I always execute the dominator and the tower at the same time. But now my partner stopped the dominator. And then... then I couldn't execute the tower at the same time anymore. Either way, it's gonna be fine. That dominator has fallen. Then we're going in against the other dominator. And as you can see now, it does not have an active damage aura, so... yeah, dropping those whelps doesn't really do much now, does it? Nope, it does not, because the whelps don't pop, but I expect Blizzard to fix that at least at some point. Either way, it goes down, so going very cleanly overall. Harpies doing a spectacular job defending. The Unbounds doing a great job against the Dominators. And Scenarios also giving some power to our push and healing, and yeah, then Lucifron just can't defend against that well enough. This heroic version of Lucifron has tons of health, by the way. So we really need to get some damage in to get through. Alright, we managed to push another phase. Here comes another phase, another set of dominators. I was trying to get the execute there, but my partner again denied that. But then I can get the execute on this side. And I can get some... That organ placement was a little bit poor maybe, because now it hits the tower first, although I guess it might work. It actually worked quite alright. But again, the missing damage aura, so not using Whelpex here, even though I would if the aura is fixed. And we just rinse and repeat one more time with the feel. So maybe I need to kill that Dominator. I should help kill that Dominator, really. Yes, I should. Definitely should. So let's go out there and do some execute things, and I allowed the tower to be built. So a couple of mistakes there, but nothing too bad. We're still going to be perfectly fine. We have the left side covered, and we have unbounds, and now the right side is also ours, so this will be completely fine. Alright, dropping some Vulcan behind. Dropping some more Maieves, some more Whelpegs. Scenarios is closing in from both sides, and yep, this Lucifron is going down. Boom. So Maiev still works really well also for the Heroic. Then Heroic Magmadar with the execute strategy. I highly prefer the Starfall. Starfall is just so good here. But execute still works as well. I actually got 3 kills of this one, 3 attempts. While I was working on this strategy, I just wasn't happy with everything I had, so I had to keep twisting and tweaking a little bit to get it so that it's cleaner and it's better. So here we go. Now I have some difficulty finding something that shoots air, but eventually I do find my troll here. So here we go. Troll takes down that one and that one, and sadly perishes. Anyway, let's go in and take out the elemental, take the chest. We gain control of the tower, and once we have gained control of the tower, then we can just start attacking. So it will be fine. Also dropping some executes. Executes on Magmadar and friends. When your partner has a tower, you can also drop bandits on your partner's side, so that you will be able to get these bigger chests and just get more stuff. Okay, taking out one of the hounds there. And then just more of a traditional type of push here. Taking out some hounds, attacking. That there are some risks involved with that in Heroic, because when the hounds resurrect each other, then the hound that is resurrected gains a level. They don't gain a level from this general resurrect that Magmadar does, but whenever hounds resurrect each other, they give the resurrected hound a level. So sometimes you end up in this resurrect loop kind of situation, and then suddenly you have level 30 hounds against you, and that's not going to be very good. So it is risky to fight against the hounds. But what you can still do is you can get execute and you can get wellbacks. As you can see, I dropped wellbacks there behind Magmadar. So you can still get that done, even if the hounds are really big. And then that's going to help you. Also, those hounds burning out there right on my path, and then they would burn the Plague Farmer. But here we get some Plague Farming action. Hounds wake up again, but we have all the resources here to take that hound down, so that's going really well. And then we're going for another push again. Let's drop some wellbacks behind Magmadar. Magmadar has to turn around to start hitting them. That gives me time to get Plague Farmer action, get Troll action in. And now the hounds were pulled. I managed to pull the hounds to my tower. And now those hounds are just going to go to a resurrect party. But it's okay, I'll just borrow my partner's tower in that case. Maybe I should have just pushed. So I think I could have just attacked Magmadar there. Now the hounds are... This is kind of what I'm talking about. A hound dies, then it gets resurrected. Another hound dies, it gets resurrected. So this is the kind of situation that you sometimes run into when you try to just push through the hounds. But we also have wellbacks and execute. So I can simply cycle and then get my wellbacks, get my execute, and deal damage to Magmadar with those. It's going to be completely fine. I just need the troll to... the troll died. That is unpleasant. Now we're a bit on the defensive. Don't quite like this. I think we needed to push here a little bit more. I have the Quillbore, so I can distract Magmadar also and give whelps a little bit more time to attack. I'm going to take my side of the tower again, and that should be all we need. I mean, we could already start pushing with X and execute. Just execute it. I mean, it's so low health. At this point, that would be the best thing to do. Just attack the boss. Not while there's a Drake there. Drake is annoying, but as soon as the boss and Drake are a little bit further apart, then yeah, eggs. And I think we're one execute away from victory here, so I just need to cycle a little bit and go and execute the boss. That's all that's needed at this point. Boom. There it goes down. Okay, and let's do some of that sweet Hogger thing against Gehennas and Shazzrah. So here we go with Hogger, teaming up with Rivendare, and I am the left player. Very, very hard to get your tower to survive as the left player. You need to delay Gehennas, and oh, now the Flamewaker, yeah. So this side is now lost for now, but that's okay. First flame wave is totally fine. It's totally fine. Now I'll just wait it out, save some gold, then I will send the attack. And then we're going to try to attack from the other side. Catch the Flamewaker there. Okay, and the Flame Wave should arrive, and it comes here, and then we're just going to then start attacking. Alright. And now... Fire Elemental fighting against Gehennas up top, so I could also send Hogger out there. Go, Hogger, go, 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 go. If we can just delay Shazzrah. If we hold Shazzrah so Shazzrah will not get here, then we could do something. But Shazzrah is closing in. Yeah, that's not good. Right. Well, now we have a plague farmer. But I wasn't able to. No, that was too late. All right. So now we're. I thought for a moment that I can delay it a little bit longer, and we can face Shazzrah, and then we can take on the Elite Flamewaker. But I was a little bit too slow with the Dark Iron Miner. But it's okay. Once you realize that's happening, then you just chill a little bit, you save a little bit of gold, and then you get to work on the next thing. So here again, trying to delay Gehennas a little bit because we need to kill that. We need to kill that Swole Troll, so that we will get into position to fight. And now it looks like we just might. Are we going to? No, that's not enough damage, is it? No, I would need my partner to send something. That's not enough. It was enough. Okay. That was close. Alright. And that's, by the way, the reason I'm running Murlocs. Because I tried a lot of stuff. I tried the Spiderlings. I tried Prowler. And I just tried a lot of things to give me that little bit of extra damage that I need in order to be able to take down those Flamewakers. And Murlocs turned out to be the right solution for that. Alright, Murloc saving the day. Then Hogger, Fire Elemental. Okay, we are managing to defend a little bit. That's nice. New Hoggers. Hogger is getting fast. And at this point, the slappage is just going to happen. Now there was the small board clear. Actually, it shouldn't have been. Well, either way. Now we're just piling in. We have the damage. The Flamewaker is going to go down. Hogger is going to go slap. If we only had the tower on the other side, that would help with the defense. I can't help that side because I can't deploy there. And I'm trying to find a little bit of some ways. And here actually now I realize, okay, now there's whelps. So I can just send some unbounds to tank for the whelps. And now there's the unbounds. They're tanking for the whelps. Whelps take the tower. Now we're in a good spot. Shazzrah hasn't taken so much damage that it will shoot missiles at the towers or the base yet. And it's just sending the Swole Trolls, so we can take all the towers, we can stabilize, and then we can just get a good attack on Shazzrah, and then it's going to be that. Here we go. Go Hogger. Yeah, alright, looking good, looking good. Hogger just running in, and then slapping. Trying to mine a little bit. Okay. Some base missiles, but the base has enough health left. Oh, I accidentally gave resist to a skeleton. Well, even without resist, Hogger is going to slap a little. Good slapping, Hogger, good slapping. And Shazzrah and Gehenna, they go down. So here we go, Heroic Garr with Thalnos, and this one was really a blast. So let's go. I'm really feeling pretty confident with this Thalnos build. Now I tested Thalnos a lot. I killed Garr multiple times with this, with multiple partners, and what I want to do is I want to ensure that I have enough troops on the far lane so that when the Earth Elementals start coming, then I absolutely want to have troops that can fight back. Now I'm actually maybe a little bit too far ahead there. Would have been great if I had a ghoul go there first. And then I typically try to take the tower with the Plague Farmer. Now I lose the Plague Farmer due to the Vultures, but it's okay, we get to keep that. And this actually didn't work out as well, because I sent my troops maybe a little bit too fast. I still needed to get like Ghoul plus Plague Farmer on the tower, and I needed to get some distraction going on the lane. But be that as it may. We're setting things up. We have the ghoul to tank that fire elemental a little, because we're dealing elemental damage for the most part. That means that those fire elementals are actually super, super annoying. And they also have the immolation aura, so makes them even more annoying. But the most important part, I now have the tower in the middle, and I have troops that are going through the far lane, so that they are going to meet those elementals. And the army that meets the elementals has to have a witch doctor, because I need to get those shields. And I also really, of course, want the Thalnos out there, and Plague Farmer also just for the damage output. That's so sweet. So here we go, here we go. My partner is starting to be a little lacks confidence in my ability. But anyway, it's gonna be alright, because as you will soon see, we got off a little slow start, but we're soon going to start carrying this fight. So here we go. We're starting to get these smoke bombs in, and the levels are increasing. Thalnos, Plague Farmers, Witch Doctors, Priestesses. And look at those levels. We need to just cycle a little bit. Sending a tank. I should play a smoke bomb now, I think. Oh, okay, another smoke bomb. Thalnos is 29. We have some 28s. We have some 27s. Remember, we started from 25s. So this is absolutely a wonderful build if you're a little bit underleveled, because the smoke bomb is going to get you up the levels and makes you more and more competitive. Then the most difficult parts are right at the start. As you could see, I had a bit of a bad start here myself. Right at the start can be a little difficult before you get this first death ball rolling. And then once you lose the first death ball, because I could not make it work, so that I tried to keep them alive with cheaters or anything. I just don't believe in that right now. So once you have to start building a second death ball, and you have to start leveling them up. That's another tricky part. But you need to save gold for the phase transition, and then be ready to go in. Alright, so life is looking pretty beautiful right now. We have 29s, we have 30s out there. So we definitely got some levels. As you can see, we have already overtaken Drakkisath. And we're just rolling. They did send one skeleton party my way, of course, but still. I'm already sending some reinforcements to them, because my army is going in. Alright, but now my army is going in. And that means that we're going to face Garr. The army will be destroyed. Also, don't try to support an army that's halfway there. Just don't try to. That is not going to work. What you really, really want to do is you want to start over from scratch, from the beginning, take the tower, and start sending troops to the far lane. Alright. So we don't let the tower to get built, and we start building up these troops. Get them some levels. I have a ghoul that's going into tank. That's wonderful. Everything is looking good. Alright. Now we're ready to start fighting against those fire sworn. 27 Thalnoses, 227 Thalnoses at the moment. I do want to get some levels. I want to get some smoke bombs. 28 Thalnoses, also 27 Witch Doctor, 27 Plague Farmer. So I'm catching up on the levels all the time. Thalnos already 29 by now. Just a couple of Thalnoses, level them up. While leveling up the Plague Farmers and Witch Doctors and Priestesses as well. And that's how we roll. Drop some cheap minis out there, then once you get back to your spells, I probably should play the Execute here. And just execute. Decided to execute on the other side. Figured, hey, my side is going to do fine. I'm just going to smoke bomb here a little, and Thalnos is 32. Alright, pair of 32 Thalnoses. Other minis also leveling up. Life looking good. I can help the Drakkisath now. Because this team, Thalnos is 34. Alright. 2 copies of 34 level 34 Thalnoses right now. They started from 25. The level cap from Thalnos effect is 10 levels. So can't get a lot more. Now they're 35. So Thalnos is not going to level up anymore. But all the others can. I also have like 29 priestess there. some 28 plague farmers. And look at this. This squad that was 3 levels lower than my partner. And we are we are winning the race to who gets the pleasure to beat up Garr. Just look at that. This is wonderful. Power of Thalnos, cycle minis, smoke bomb. And boom. Then Heroic Geddon, and this is like good old times. I'm partnered with a Rend, so I'm bringing Sylvanas here. I really like Sylvanas with the Fury talent here, because Sylvanas with the Fury talent means that Gargoyle is just going to smack Geddon so much harder, and that gives you a little bit more leeway when you just don't have the levels. I also really like to bring Banshee to the Heroic version of Geddon, or maybe even normal version nowadays, because now there's that one Molten Giant at the start. And when you bring a Banshee, well, Banshee is just going to grab that Molten Giant. Molten Giant no longer takes damage from the lava floor. Molten Giants and Fire Elementals are immune to the lava floor nowadays. Which means that now that Molten Giant is just going to help you take the towers. And there it's happily walking around. Alright, so here we go. So far everything's looking nice. I'm going to steal that Fire Elemental. We're going to grab some towers. That's good, that's good. So everything looks good so far. We have the top 2 towers. We haven't made a good push at the bottom tower yet. Are we going to be able to? So then of course here the question of always is, do we attack Geddon on the first round? Or do we try to get a little bit more control and attack it on the second lap? And here it looks like we're going to attack it on the second lap, I think. We maybe could have attacked it here. I think we have a pretty decent position. That living bomb does hurt a little though. Or a lot. Yeah, maybe an attack on the first lap would have been possible with what we had going on right now. You steal that Fire Elemental, we are going to be able to get that tower. But, alright. Well, in this position, retaking the towers, attacking on the second lap would probably still make a lot of sense. So let's see what's going to happen here. Fire Elemental is delaying Geddon. I don't really want that Gargoyle to engage. Did I send it too early? Because that Fire Elemental tanks Geddon for such a long time. No, it looks fine. Geddon is just... It looks perfect, doesn't it? Geddon is just moving away. Gargoyle moves in to retake. Alright. That actually looks good. Except for that Drake. Which is going to kill the Gargoyle. But anyway, let's see. Patience, patience. We just need to take the tower back. Then we need to get to the next tower. Alright. We have both bottom towers. This is looking really sweet. I'm just sending gargoyles around the map so that they are not too close together, so that they don't get living bombed. And now... Unfortunately, it looks like we're reaching Geddon a little too. Maybe not, maybe not. Run, Geddon, run! No, Geddon did not run. Well, I didn't really want to reach Geddon at this point. That is not very good. Because now we're going to face Geddon and then... Yeah, now I need to try to defend the towers. So I'll just send something to defend the towers. We have defenses on both of the bottom towers. That's good. Then we'll need to grab that Fire Elemental. It's going to tank a little bit for us. Now that we already have pushed the phase, we probably should push the rest of the phases here at 9 o'clock. I should have sent the Gargoyle already. My partner should have sent the Gargoyle. They had a Gargoyle ready to go and they sent it... Okay. Anyway, because we just can't wait for another more than half a lap. We need to kill the Geddon here. We have control of 2 of the towers. That tornado is going to take them, but it won't take them so fast. We still have enough time here. So we get another phase done here. We can defend the towers a little bit. I would just really need to get the gargoyle out there. There goes another resistant gargoyle. That's good. Okay. So resistant gargoyle 27 should be able to push a phase through Geddon. I can steal that fire elemental. Give it. No, I couldn't. It's a little too late there. Other than that, things look okay. Now there's... Alright. Just barely pulled it off. So, not perfect. It really is perfect, but good enough. Then we're up against Golemagg. I'm bringing Ragnaros and I'm partnered with an Ysera. But that 25 Ragnaros is a little bit too low. So I would recommend using the Jaina comp when you're level 25. Jaina can boost your spells a little and make them more usable. But Ragnaros, my Ysera partner, is also using the recurring dream talent that you never want to use that in co-op. Because now there are Ysera minis in my deck. Which means that it's going to be very hard for me to cycle. Because I get an extra mini and my cycle is basically ruined from here. And that means fewer levels on Ragnaros, less healing on Ragnaros, less defenses. But okay, let's see. So, first I'm sending a Molten Giant. The Priestess was... sent the Priestess a little bit incorrectly there. I was hoping the Molten Giant and Priestess would just keep the Hound occupied for a long time. That was good use of Dream from my partner. So, Lake Farmer got the kill on the Pyromancer. Usually it would be a draw. And then we're just going to get some levels on Ragnaros. Level 28 now. So my partner is Ysera, but they have a Frostwolf Shaman. And they also have the Griffin Rider. I think they also had... Yep, they also have a Griffin Rider. And not just any Griffin Rider, but an airdrop Griffin Rider. So they are fully prepared to support the Ragnaros build, I guess. Apart from having that recurring dream, which is a nuisance. But anyway, so I've been able to get some levels on Ragnaros faster because my partner also brought airdrop, but healing is lagging behind, and it's going to keep lagging behind because it's harder for me to cycle. And while they have brought a shaman, then shaman healing on Ragnaros is actually quite small nowadays, especially compared to what a priestess can do. But let's see, I'm trying to save some gold here, get a good tank out there. So now Molten Giant helping Ragnaros, reflecting some damage as well. So we just get more damage into the enemies. Eventually lost it, but that happens. Ragnaros is level 31. Now I finally managed to find out the Priestess. We get it to level 32. Get a little bit of healing on it. So we're still in a very precarious position. This Ragnaros is not quite there yet where it would be able to easily tank the incoming enemies. And I'm trying to keep that fire elemental away from my skeleton party. Partial success. That Lake Farmer dropped it right into the lava. That was not good. Level 33. But I need to cycle the healers, because it's always 10% healing whenever I get to play a priestess. And that's just crucially important. I can burn those with the blast wave. If I had the talent to give stun for the blast wave, that would be slightly better here. I just don't have that talent on this account, because it used to be a bad talent when I made Ragnaros rare. But then they made it better. So that's the case for a couple of these things when I have these rare accounts. That then I don't have the right talents because they were useless talents and then they were buffed. Okay, now if I only had the priestess in my hand, but I don't. Ragnaros is now maximum level, plus 10 levels, so Ragnaros can't get bigger than that. And I'm struggling to cycle. Now I managed to get the priests out there just in time. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that it got the levels early, but also I would have just kept cycling the rider and the priestess a lot more if things were a little different. But either way, it's been a real struggle, as you can see, and that's why level 25 Ragnaros is kind of hard. If you have a couple of more levels at the start, then Ragnaros takes a little bit more punishment in the beginning. It's able to handle that, and then you can get into a position where Ragnaros, like this Ragnaros, level 35 Ragnaros is already pretty good here. It's able to defend quite well, but the thing is that it took so much damage early on, and I haven't been able to heal it up, so it's still vulnerable. But its health is actually slowly increasing, so things look like they might get better here. Okay, just trying to keep it up. I need to send a miner, and then I can send another priestess, and I can get, yes, I can get that heal that I really want. I'm wondering what to do about that. To do about the giant. End up positioning the skeleton party in front. I never really want to do that, but I felt that that was necessary because of the giant. I tried to position it as close to Ragnaros as possible. I really didn't want it to go very far. And then overtime begins. We haven't pushed a single phase yet, but now with overtime we start to be in a hurry. So it's time to go. I'm sending Earth Elemental and Rime Skeletons. Those are my plan on how to deal damage with this comp. Earth Elemental is going to tank Golemagg, and then the Rime Skeletons are going to deal damage to it from behind. They actually have pretty high DPS, so that's how I'm trying to do this. And again, Earth Elemental, Rime Skeletons. Because now Ragnaros, as you can see, Ragnaros is able to actually defend much better than it used to be. It is a little bit hectic also in the defense, and also the reflective damage. 35 Ragnaros reflects a whole bunch of damage. There's that. Now there's another phase. Okay, 1 minute left. We have pushed 2 phases, so we are just on schedule to win this. It won't be, I should have played those on Golemagg. Should have really played those on Golemagg. I needed to get the Earth Elemental, those, and the Rime Party to deal damage a little bit faster. So that was a mistake on my part. So that was actually where User Minis would have been useful for a brief moment there. Okay, we get another phase. 30 seconds. We're barely on schedule. Just almost there. If I had dropped the Wellbags, we would have been better on schedule here. Anyway, here we go. Pushing again. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Oh, there's power there. Boom! Golemagg goes down. And finally, there is Heroic Ragnaros, and this time I'm bringing Sneed. I think Sneed is an extraordinary, like, lower level partner, because you can just flood your partner with gold. Just get Sneed to take as many chests as possible, get Sneed to take as many towers as possible. Also, siege units are fine if needed, but Sneed is the best one. And there's going to be so much gold. Then of course it's up to how can your partner make use of all of that gold. Some partners have been much better at using gold than others. And what I have also found is that often in this fight I end up in stalemates and in draws. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's first talk about, now there's those Elite Flamewakers. These Elite Flamewakers, they have to die within 10 seconds of each other. They're going to resurrect each other if the other one is dead for 10 seconds, and then the other is going to resurrect that. So we want to get a synchronized kill on those. That's why it's good to push both lanes, kill those, then kill Major Domo. I have occasionally also wondered if just killing Major Domo first is better, because sometimes it's really hard to get your partner to sync the kills, and then just getting the kill on Major Domo itself would be better. My partner is using fast tracky sets. Fast tracky sets are pretty funny. And they're also blasting away. So Major Domo died. I just barely missed the 10-second window, but Trackysat was able to kill the spawning Elite Flamewaker, and because it managed to kill that one, then that means that we're all good. The Flamewakers are gone, together with the Major Domo, and now we're just going to start going in and grabbing some towers, getting some gold. And if we get some gold, then we're going to just get a lot of stuff going. Of course, being a Trackysat partner helps. I've seen a lot of really bad Trackysat decks that run like Huntresses and stuff like that, and that are actually playing only very few Trackysats. And that's a huge problem when that happens, because when you have gold, you just want to get a lot of Trackysats out there. But this partner was more enthusiastic about his Trackysats, and he's really rolling Trackysat because rolling in gold, and that means rolling in Trackysats. Trackysat is just really good. Welbex and even Vorgen don't deal that much damage to the boss unless they're very high level. That's something I've also discovered, because I have had all these draws in Heroic. And that's actually why I ended up going with resistant gargoyles and put the gargoyle in my boost slot. Because I ended up in a stalemate with Molten Giants a lot of times. When I played Sneed with Swole Trolls, when I played Sneed with Molten Giants, then there would just be this huge fight against Molten Giants right on top of Ragnaros, and we just couldn't push through very effectively. But gargoyles can fly over Molten Giants. And then I have Vorgen, and I have Safe Pilot. And those minis can help the gargoyles survive. So then gargoyles are just going to fly in, and they have resistance, so they can last for a while, and just blast. And as you can see, I'm giving the Trackysat player a lot of gold. And this Trackysat player, there's like 4 Trackysats on the board? Because that's really what you want. A lot of Trackysats. And here also Resistant Gargoyle. Resistant Gargoyle against Son of Flame. That is a matchup that the Resistant Gargoyle is happy to take any day. It's just so good against Sons of Flame. Now we do need a little bit more gold. Sadly, we lost the tower there. Okay, so we need to send something. When Ragnaros emerges, there's going to be a flame wave. That's actually what I'm concerned about here. There's going to be the flame wave, and I tried to time that gargoyle now so that the meteor is not going to kill it. There's going to be these meteors, and then there's going to be the flame wave, but flying minis don't get hit by the flame wave. So the goal was to time that, so yeah. See, that timing really worked out. And we immediately started getting towers, which means that we immediately started getting more gold. Also trying to send a Banshee out there, because I saw there's a Molten Giant. It's a bit of a long shot. Because there can be Dark Eye Miners and all sorts of things on the path of the Banshee. But look at that. The Banshee actually managed to steal the Molten Giant. Sometimes you manage to do that. Alright. Then we're fighting. Again, there's a bunch of these Trackysats going in. Trying to help defend our tower a little bit. And if tower should fall, I now have a Sneed at the tower. And that means Sneed is going to retake the tower. And that means... chunk, chunk, chunk. Gold. That means gold. So... there's just so much gold all the time. Then of course it still depends on what kind of build your partner build brings. So if they don't bring enough damage, then all that gold is not necessarily going to be helpful. There's so much gold again. It's already overtime, but I have gargoyles on the way, and my partner has some Drakisats on the way. You could say that. Let's send some resistant gargoyles. Try to steal that core hound so it doesn't hurt my base. And we go for some more resistance. Ragnaros doesn't have the molten armor anymore here. It only has that molten armor before it summons the suns. After suns are gone, armored is gone, and the damage reflection is gone. So here we go, here we go. Now sadly taking a living bomb to the dome. Alright. Final phase. Sending out some defenses against the middle sun. We still have some Drakisats out there, and I can also contribute. And there. Drakisats, gargoyles, Ragnaros goes down. So that was open queue, Heroic Molten Core with a level 25 account. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.